Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am phizzedmusic, and this right here is another rousing episode of Urban Politics. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing. Liking and subscribing as you do, please. As soon as you have a chance, take your little cell phone over to YouTube, like and subscribe, phizzedmusic. Urban politics, but without further ado, I want to jump right into it like a car and drive because there's all types of tasty and delicious politics to sink our teeth into, ladies and gentlemen. This will probably be a short episode because I don't have a whole lot to talk about. The news cycle has been dominated by what's going down November 2nd, 2024. The presidential election. Had to get that date right in my head, right? So we all should be gearing up for that. This is the election season, ladies and gentlemen. We got like what, maybe 4 months until it goes down, but we do have some stuff to talk about. Right about now, I'm gonna take a little sip. Right there is good right there. You know what that is? This right here is New Amsterdam watermelon. So, they make a Pink Whitney, which I love to drink because it's named for my woman. There it is. She drink it all the time. But New Amsterdam makes a whole lot of they got vodka that's infused with different flavors and such, right? This the watermelon vodka. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Delish. So I'm gonna be sipping on that while we talk a little politics. Let's jump right into it like a car and drive. Check me out. Biden. We talked about the debates. They were abysmal. It did not look good. He does not look good. He is too old for the job. Trump is too old for the job. It is what it is. I've talked about it. Plenty of people have talked about it. People are still talking about it ad nauseum. They're going to keep talking about it until the election goes down. Because no matter which way this election goes, they will or will not blame Biden for stepping down if he doesn't win it, right? So we'll see what goes down with that. That's a part of it. Okay. So that is the question, right? For Biden to step down or not to step down. The man has said he's not stepping down. He said, I'm not going nowhere. He said out of his mouth, he said, bar the Lord Almighty giving him a sign or telling him that he need to drop out this race, he's not dropping out. Ergo, he's not dropping out. He's not going nowhere. So they need to stop talking about it. The man has said that he ain't dropping out. The man has said that he will not quit. The man said that he will not step aside and let a younger person take the reins. So stop talking about it. If you riding with Biden, like Mr. Clyburn said, you know what I'm saying? That old school professional poised Democrat, when the news people kept coming at him and asking him about Joe Biden, what did he say? He just kept repeating the same phrase. I'm riding with Biden. I'm riding with Biden. It was comical, but guess what? It was appropriate because if you down with the dude, then you down with him. You down with him, you got to be down like 4 flat tires. You got to be down with Biden. So if you're riding with him, and I'm not even saying that's the best alternative here, but a TI is what a TI is. He's the only person who could set in motion the wheels of change for someone else to take the reins. Is that the best thing for the Democratic Party right now? I'm not sure. And we're going to talk about that in a minute too. But he's already said that he's not interested. So move on, Democrats. Move on. Now, there are ways, right, that somebody else could step in and take Joe Biden's place. If Joe Biden said himself, I want somebody else to take the reins on this thing, I can't quarterback this thing no more, whatever, for whatever reason, he could step aside and, they could hold another convention and they could do all of this stuff. Now, it's not a whole bunch of stuff. It really isn't. And people have remarked how most countries have whole elections in the time, in a fourth of the time that it takes us to have this presidential election. Most times people win the presidency and then they just start running for the next presidency, which is a problem in this country too. I think that's something that's inherited to or inherent to America, but whatever. So there's that going on. But a lot of places, when they have an election, they have it, it lasts a couple of weeks, a couple of months, then it's over, right? So that's what needs to go down here. But with this whole thing right here, if Joe Biden decided he didn't want to do it no more, wanted to step aside, they could have another convention. That would take a little bit of time, maybe a month or whatever, and you could still, get somebody else in there. Could they win? I don't know. And a friend of mine was talking about this because he was saying, hey, look, Biden is old. if they keep talking about how this is the election of a lifetime and this is the election that will decide whether we have democracy in this country anymore, which I agree with. I agree with both of those statements, right? But if that is the case, then why are Democrats all in for Biden, right? I like Joe Biden too, but at the end of the day, is he the best person to run? Is he the best person to win? I'm not sure. He's old. His steps are slow. He's not as articulate as he used to be. But Trump is a sack of bones too. I don't mean to be flippant, ladies and gentlemen, but this is a short show, so I got to cut to the point. Trump is a sack of bones too. We got two sack of bones. We got two crypt keepers running for the presidential office, running for the executive position, right? So, that is what we got, two old guys. So which old guy do you want? I'd rather have the old guy who I know is not a selfish, evil, horrible individual. Joe Biden, I'll take it, right? So that is what it is, right? So there's people going on and on about that. He's not going to step down, so leave that alone. We only got so much time to the election. People keep going on and on about his mental faculties, right? The debate did not look good. I told y'all it really took a lot of the wind out of Joe Biden's sails for me, that debate. Because I'd seen his performance before and he looked a little off his game. But sometimes you see him and he looks good. When he was having that interview with Papadopoulos, he didn't look so bad. He was pretty articulate. He looked somewhat with it, somewhat lucid. But then you see him doing rallies and doing speeches and he's like a deaderied idiot. You don't know which Joe Biden you're going to get. And they were even saying, his staffers have went on record as saying that you don't know which Joe Biden you're going to get from day to day. That's not good. We definitely want consistency in a president. With that said, I still think he's the lesser of two evils. And that's what we've done in this country probably since we've been voting for president. So that is what it is. They're going to talk about how his faculties are going. Then I've heard talk about how they said that Jill, his wife, has been running the country, not him. Now, I have seen some at rallies and debates and stuff where she'll come up and it's almost like she grabs his hand to lead him off stage. I did see when they were looking at, I think it was the airmen who were doing something and Joe was looking at some stuff over here and wasn't nothing going on over here. The action was over there. Somebody to tap him, let him know the action's over here, sir. And then it looked like Barack Obama kind of nudged his elbow, which is kind of the sign that, we're leaving now. So somebody had to let him know we're leaving and we're going away to the left. See what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen that. But guess what? And I might get some flack for this. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, you in the pushback zone. So if I ever say anything you don't like, you don't agree with, you think I'm talking out of my hold up, you can always leave a comment, right? And push back. So here it goes. I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is not the first time that we've had a sleeper in the White House. What? Yeah, I said that. Ronald Reagan, in his last years, come on, man. Come on, man. I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I was, maybe 12, 13 years old, Ronald Reagan's last years. I remember this guy clearly had dementia. I remember this guy clearly did not know where he was at or what he was doing. And Nancy Reagan was running the country. And whoever else was advising him that he took the time to listen to was running the country. I don't think Reagan at that point could listen to anybody. I think his brain was mush and there were other people running the country. So, Biden, his brain might be mush, and there might be other people lightweight running the country. Now, there was an op-ed that came out in some magazine, you can Google this, where they talked about how they said a lot of those staff positions and some of those other positions that get filled in the White House, they said that Jill Biden was doing those interviews, not Joe. Said sometimes he wouldn't even be there. I guess not. He was probably asleep. Jesus. Now the guy talking about how he want to do little events or whatever, we got to do them before 8 o'clock. Our president should probably be in bed by 8. What? Because he's old. He's too old to be doing the job. So y'all want to have him in bed by 8, start holding functions earlier, instead of making the man step down and retire, which is probably appropriate? Oh, well. TI is what I TI is. I tell the young people that I work with all the time, it's up to y'all to change this thing. People my age and older have gotten us here. It's up to y'all to change it. So that's why I say to my 20-somethings out there who get into politics, who are within the sound of my voice, change things through your vote, change things through your political action. But somebody got to change things. Because I'm as frustrated as Jon Stewart. I just don't have that much animus, and I don't have Jon Stewart's following or his platform. But I'm just as upset as he is, because I'm just like him. I'm an older cat who gets it. We let us here, and look where we're at. We have two octogenarians running for the highest office in the land. Anyway, moving on, because I can't bear to talk about that anymore, because I'm riding with Biden, but to what peril? Anyway, moving on. But what if, and I've always talked about this, right? Because my dad said this, Pop said this. What if Biden get in there and he's just going to step aside and let Kamala in there? There's plenty of liberals who love that. Oh my God, that would just be the whole thing coming full circle for them. That black female president they've been wanting, they want that. Oh my goodness. We'll see. Crazier things have happened. Kamala is not that loved on the left, believe it or not, though. So I don't know if these people are paying attention to that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes down, right? Because it kind of sounds like some House of Cards stuff. If you get into House of Cards, like I used to get into House of Cards when Kevin Spacey was there after he got into all that stuff that he got into. He had talked about House of Cards, how his character had become, what he say, he went from something to vice president to the presidency without a single vote cast. Could happen, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, moving on, because my time is drawing nigh. Let me talk about now some pop culture. We'll get off the politics. Let's get into my other fave, pop culture. Let's talk about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. The aftermath of the beef. This battle has been all the talk that anybody can talk about for a while. I'm going to tell you something, too. This battle right here has renewed my faith in the youth. I said it. It has renewed my faith in the youth. I thought that the young people didn't care about bars. I thought they didn't care about lyrics. I thought that all the young people wanted to hear was some mumbling over a good beat. I thought that all the young people cared about is my rich boy swag. I thought that all the young people cared about was trap beats and, you know what I'm saying, and all that madness. I didn't know they were still listening to lyrics. And Kendrick Lamar has renewed my faith in hip-hop. I'm not going to lie. I've been a fan of hip-hop since I've been alive, right? Now, I go on record say I love alternative rock, but that's got to be my second love. My first love was hip-hop music. I love hip-hop music. How about this? My favorite subjects in high school and in college and best subjects was English. I'm a rapper by trade, you know what I'm saying? I love English. I'm a wordsmith, you know what I'm saying? I love lyrics. I love words. So I love hip hop, but I ain't gonna lie. As of late, I hadn't really been impressed, you know what I'm saying, with hip hop, and it's changed a lot. I do music. I've done music back in the day. People ask me, why don't you do music anymore? Because it's changed. To me, it seemed like people weren't interested in bars anymore. They weren't interested in really thoughtful lyrics. They weren't interested in listening to a person really get deep with something and go deep into it with their lyrics or whatnot. Kendrick Lamar shut me up on that, bruh. I'm shut up on that because this guy has captivated the world, me included, with the bars. With the bars. He did it with the music. The beats are fresh too. Don't get me twisted. Them beats that he picked to rip over are off the chain. And I'm going to speak to that in a hot second too. But the lyrics, son, the lyrics. And then the way that like each lyric has 2 and 3 different meanings. You got people who are still doing the knowledge to his lyrics. Every other time I turn around, there's a new blogger talking about, did you know this meant this? And fan has 3 different meanings. And this verse here, when he said this, he really meant this. And he also meant A minor. Did you catch that? Da, 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 da. That's amazing. I cannot remember, even with all the millions of battles that we had, and we've had some good ones. We've had some that I probably went on record saying it was way better than this one we just had. I take all that away. I think this one is probably the best one because of the fact that people are so into it. People are really studying Kendrick Lamar's lyrics, and there's something to study there. That's what's deeper too. They are deep. He is deep. He is an amazing artist among artists. So there's that. So with that said, that is the aftermath of this whole thing. I think that Kendrick Lamar is just like, you know what I'm saying? And with Drake, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? And I say, only because I tell people all the time, you can't feel sorry for Drake. Why? All this going on with Drake, He ain't brought out no new music, but guess what? That guy is fine. You know what he's doing? He's probably right now, waking up on a bed of cash with a model. That guy, come on, man. He got money coming out the wazoo. He got plenty of music that gets streams out the wazoo. He got plenty of ladies, plenty of fame. Drake will be all right. Now, a guy who watches the show that I work with, and you know who you are, brother, young brother that I work with, smart, intelligent brother. What he said is he think that Drake is gonna come out country. Why not? That might not be a bad idea for Drake right now. Because they ain't feeling him on the hip-hop tip, it don't seem like. So why not come out country? Why not come out, just go all the way left with it, Drake? Come out country and just totally remake yourself, because this is the age of doing that too. And Drake has been out a long time. He's getting up on that Snoop Dogg Madonna type longevity. You've been around that long. You kind of need to flip the script, and that's the reason why, like Snoop Dogg especially, I went on record on the show and saying that that's the reason why that guy is relevant and prevalent all the time, every time, everywhere, all the time, all the time. Why? Because he can remake himself at the drop of a dime. He'll be Snoop Lion. He might go over here and do a gospel album. He might come over here and do a rock album. Oh my goodness, Snoop is over here with Martha Stewart. Snoop, that brother he is a shapeshifter, and you cannot nail him down, and that is the reason why he'll be talked about even... if I went and talked to my 7-year-old son and asked him about Snoop Dogg right now, he could tell you something. Come on now, I'm 48. I think Snoop Dogg's a little bit older than me. My 7-year-old son knows exactly who Snoop Dogg is. You know what I'm saying? That's what you call relevancy. But to keep yourself relevant like that, you have to be able to remake yourself, reinvent yourself. So that might be the next thing that Drake does with that. So I tell people all the time, I'm not going to... cry river for Drake. You shouldn't either. He's just fine. I promise you could talk to him right now. He probably just fine. He said, guess what? You know what I did? I boo-hooed. I cried my sorrows into a bag of cash. That's what T.I. said. T.I. said that. Because when people were coming at Tiny and all that stuff on the internet, he said, I get it. I'm rich. So it's cool to pal on somebody who's rich. You they got all the money in the world, so they ain't got no problems. He said, and I hear what you're saying. He said, I guess I'll just go and, cry myself to sleep in a bag of cash. That's what you can do. Boo-hoo, you can cry yourself to sleep in your bag of cash. Because you made the money. So come on now. Anyway, moving on. If you have not seen the video to They Not Like Us, my lord, he went in. The video is off the chain. And I think the most telling thing about this whole thing is the very end of the video. Go watch that video on YouTube. And in the very end of the video, there's an owl in a cage. And he just standing there looking at it, and then he walks away. And then even the owl looks at him like, and the video goes on. I said, that's the most telling. That is so, that was just like, wow. I mean, you couldn't have wrote that better, because that was what he did. He put the owl in a cage and walked away. I was done. I say, hey, I gotta take a sip of liquor on that, bruh. Hey. He put the owl in a cage and walked away. And all the owl could, woo, and looked at him like, go see the video. Because I said, Kendrick is that dude, man. That guy is an artist among artists. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. This has been Urban Politics. I'm phizzedmusic. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance, preferably after you watch this video, take yourself on over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. phizzedmusic, Urban Politics. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, see you around like a donut.